Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Quick look here again at ICP, seeing what's going on. We've actually got a very good setup here. This is the kind of setup I like to look for when I take a trade. I'll explain more about that here as we progress, but the simple way to understand it is we've broken a descending trend, we've broken our range-bound activity, and now we have established higher highs and higher lows to break free from the most recent low. It's extremely important. So again, at this point, we're looking fairly solid. We cannot, think that this is a perfect situation by any stretch, but it's looking quite favorable from the outside looking in. Okay, so again, we always do our due diligence and take a look deeper into the price action to make sure that's worthwhile. But I can tell you right now at this point, bird's eye view looks pretty solid. So take a look here at ICP. Quickly to note the liquidation levels, and we'll just go ahead and go into some other stuff here. We got a lot of liquidation to the upside. There's still some left to the downside, of course, but not quite as much as you'd think. So a lot more shorts are still holding on strong for some stupid reason. They're still holding on because again, CPI data came out really well. So in case you didn't catch this, CPI was favorable. 3.3%, that's the best we've seen in almost 2 years. Okay, so the market responded very well to that today, as you can kind of see by this tremendously green market. Okay, so again, Bitcoin pulling its head out of its ass, a lot of things, analogies you could provide, but simply put, we're back on track, so to speak. Again, it's a little premature, but also looking pretty decent. Most coins have broken free from their descending trend lines and are establishing at least range-bound activity and or higher highs and higher lows. Having said that, though, if we do take a look, somewhere in the range of 1140 is the low point, 1190, and 1320. Those are three heavy concentrations of liquidation. What do you know? Those are probably very good take profit targets too, right? That's generally where I like to set my targets, right below those liquidation levels, because a lot of times liquidation events occur and the price turns right back around. Okay? So greed is a very real thing. That's how you can kind of base your own trades on in a lot of ways. So that is kind of a foundation of understanding. Now, taking a look here at the larger time frames, we're going to recognize a few things. And the important thing to recognize here is, simply put, we've got it's not phenomenal. Okay, let's just summarize it here. The daily time frame has been pretty poor for ICP for quite some time. Even when we were range bound, it still wasn't very good. Okay, so the truth is we're below all moving averages. Our point of control here for the most recent, rough estimate of about last month's worth of trading or two is about $12. So if the price does recover, keep in mind you want to secure profits before that level. That previous support range is going to be a new resistance for us. Okay, it's not to say that the price is just going to not have any, just to reject off it instantly, but it commonly does. All right. So just again, some foundational stuff there to kind of understand. We got this nice little bounce off 30 in the RSI money flow index as well. We're seeing a good stochastic swing to the upside, and MACD is starting to finally converge, not fully, but as again, you can see there's less of a divergence. Shifting momentum has occurred. Okay. So if we take a look at the 4 hour, we can kind of specify a few things a little bit easier and recognize just kind of generally speaking, we're not, again, perfect, but we've got a little constellation here. And that constellation is being above the 20-day SMA. The 20-day SMA is important because it often runs concurrent with descending trends. Okay, so we can not only confirm that we're above the 20-day SMA, we've also broken free from this lower high, lower low pattern, and we're establishing higher lows and tentative higher highs. So those are very, very good signs. So this $10.60 mark is an important level to close above today, because that would put us above the most recent low, essentially would be the new resistance. It didn't even bother to be a resistance. It just blasted straight through it. Again, that's where fundamental catalysts can be very helpful. Take a look here. We can see MACD's converging, excellent behavior. We're still under 50 in the RSI, but we're soon to break, likely. Again, we got to keep in mind, we're still under 50 there. That's not favorable. Most coins that I've analyzed so far here today have broken through that level. So it does imply that we have somewhat of a resistance in the current range right now, or maybe that 1080 or 1090 mark. This most recent point of control is pushing the price action down. Good news is, though, oftentimes when you get a consolidative effort above the cloud, the price will push back through there. So, and we'll talk about that here in the hourly in just a minute, but I want to clarify stochastic swinging up, a lot of positive signs here. Okay. Now, again, I know it seems kind of crazy and ridiculous because like last couple of days, like, wait, what do you mean you've been bearish on ICP? Yeah, that momentum or that mindset needs to consistently shift. I've never attached myself to something wholeheartedly that we're blindly going this one direction. But the truth is, the macro here isn't that great. Okay, we got to recognize that. However, the transitionary timeframes are stellar, so that usually translates into a better macro over time. So all we need is Bitcoin to hold that 70,000 range or 69K range, just as it has before, and to do well leading into today's Fed meeting. Okay, So historically, Fed meetings have been very good for Bitcoin, at least historically this year. We've got 3 out of 3 occasions where the Fed meeting occurred, and 5 to 10 days later, the price of Bitcoin is up somewhere in the range of 20 to 30%. So that statistical data, it leads me to believe that we're going to be in pretty good shape here, especially how well price action responded today to CPI data. And if things are neutral today, which we're expecting, we should be in pretty good shape. So I'm expecting another leg up with potential of retracement here in between. What I mean by that, if we take a look at the hourly here, we can see Ichimoku Cloud consolidating perfectly right here at this support range here at about 1050 to 1060. So to me, a good entry would be that 1060 mark here, a more recent low, the area we want to close above here today if possible. My speculation is, though, is that we may not even see that price point happen, and we may even see ICP continue further up without retracement. But again, a lot of it hinges on Bitcoin here. Bitcoin has tried to pull back, but hasn't, closing very well above that 0.618 fib level. In fact, it's printing a nice little type of a pennant type of pattern here, or triangle, however you want to call it. It's looking pretty solid, and I think that's going to translate well into these other coins. Just note we haven't fully broken bullish on this coin yet, so there is that factor too. But to me, being above this descending trend line, establishing itself above this most recent range and breaking free from that is a very, very good sign. Again, just to quickly give you a hypothetical here, range bound activity. Let's go ahead and put this up here. So if you kind of look at this, the price action, for lack of better terms, was range bound in this area. Okay. Once we break free from that range, there's typically a bullish backtest of that recent high. Again, recent high, recent low now. Okay, right? So again, at this point, hypothetically, the price is going to come back down to 1060, bounce, and continue higher. Okay. So me personally, I think 1060 is a good entry. I think it's a little premature just to get into the top, but if you do, small position size, right? Like 25% of your overall position, maybe add it now. And then consider adding 50%, these lower levels, depending on which area you want to enter in second, and then kind of go from there. But the good news is we're above previous resistance. This is a support range for us now. So 1030 to 1060 is that support range. The likelihood of ICP continuing further up is greater now based on those things. You just got to recognize the macro still has a lot of resistances, so I would recommend securing profits tighter or sooner than you would normally. And maybe consider these ranges here, 1140, 1290, and 1310. I'm rounding down on those specifically because those are areas you want to secure profits. You always want to take profit before fib levels and or just below liquidation events. Okay, that's generally what I would favor there here in this case. So I hope that makes sense. I described that correctly. Again, these are just standard practices over the last 20 years of trading that I've understood and developed from traditional markets all the way to crypto markets. Okay, so again, I think that well-rounded experience is important, because if you are not conservative in your crypto trading, you're really, really doing it wrong. Tom, Dick, and Harry online right now, they're showing how awesome they are with their 50x leverage trades. But again, they probably got lucky taking a trade that didn't have confirmation, and they're going to show you how awesome they are. I'm not sure if that's something that's really trustworthy. Again, just throwing it out there, trust who you want, don't even trust me for that matter. But if you do find benefit and you see some consistency here, hit the like button, comment below, love to hear it. Obviously join our Trading Academy community or Signals group. It's kind of an all-in-one there to help get you on the right track. If you haven't already, this is our favorite exchange for our community as well. You do have to use my link to register, so if you've previously done so, you're automatically eligible for this. Just go to the rewards section. Otherwise, use my link to register. Easy benefit rewards. These are pretty nice bonuses. You don't really see these too often. It's only until the end of the month. Last but not least, just ask you to go ahead and join us on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, YouTube Shorts, TikTok Shorts now too. A lot of fun, folks. Check it out. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, though. Thank you again so much for your time. We'll see you the next one.